check. Are we out there? All of our BBs, how are y'all doing? It is 2021 and it is moving at a glacier pace, at least for me. I am your host, Morg, and this is Joe.
Hello.
And we, and as you can hear, we are barely making it in our jobs as we start the new year. I know for me, Joe, it has been hard to go back after the holidays. How are you doing?
Oh, same, Morg. And I think we all had these really high expectations that 2021, it's like that the clock changed to 12:01 and everything in our life would have gone from garbage to glorious. And it's really proving to not be the case.
Yeah, it is not exactly what I expected. I'd have to say. I know I posted a meme of this like a couple weeks ago, but it is exactly like 2020. All of those expectations they're just let down. So this episode, I know we mentioned it last week, but we are doing back to work to kick off the new year and how we're surviving your two Bs from Lil D. If you are just joining us for the first time, every week we do an episode on a theme or something topical and give you our hot takes, our insight, and opinions. So we are bringing you a really work-themed episode, which is probably not what you want, but don't worry, it's going to be fun.
Morg, it's funny because I was thinking the same. It's like we're talking about how much we hate this and we hate going back, and we're like, and we're just going to keep talking about it. Like, we're just going to wallow over here.
We're not done. We're not done with the wallowing.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to vent, so y'all feel free to vent with us. Shoot us some stuff as some baggage. We want to talk about your problems, too.
Yes, exactly. And thank you for bringing up baggage, Joe, because we have some this week. For our listeners, baggage is just what we call those little submissions from you for us about questions from our listeners so that we can give you at least our opinions on them. Not entirely sure we give you really any good advice. We do our best.
Yeah, come on, Mark. Sell us a little bit.
Okay. We're going to give you the best advice out there.
You know it.
But this week we have a question from a new mom, Joe, which we are experts at being parents. I'm only kidding. We do not have children. But so she says her and her husband, Joe, they've been arguing. So we're getting in a little deep here. This is a little bit of the bigger baggage.
Out of our realm. I take back what I said about us giving expert advice. You were right, Morg.
She says, don't worry, it's not a big argument. But they've been, her and her husband have been going back and forth about getting a unlimited grocery delivery service from Kroger. Okay. Now the issue's at hand. They live down the street from Kroger. Husband's argument. This is like I guess a courtroom now. That's how I'm presenting it to you. The judge. Okay. The defendant would like to buy the grocery delivery service so that she does not have to get out of the car with her 2-year-old and soon to be a newborn. She would like it delivered to the door. The other issue, of course, prosecuting party would like to continue driving 4 minutes up the road and not spend the $80 a year that it would cost for this delivery service. So, Joe, I guess we are in charge of making a decision here. They want to stop arguing about it. They've come to us for help, and I'm here to give you the help. So, curious, Joe, what your position is. I already know I have opinions about this.
I mean, I do too, and so I'm curious to see how they line up with yours, because I feel like, Morg, I think I'm with the husband on this one. I mean, we have enough subscription services in our lives. Like, I'm not looking for another one. I feel like when it's that close to your house, just go and get it. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. And we have so many subscriptions in our lives. Like, I feel like, but again, it depends on how you are as a person. I feel like I'm so stressed that I'm going to forget to cancel a subscription or something like that. It's just a lot of services. And you live super close. But yes, there's a baby. But still, let dad do it.
Oh, so let dad do it's the answer.
I mean, I'm just saying, if dad wants it, I'm with you, dad. But you might have to pick up the slack and go because mom's tired. And I don't know, I'm talking about them like they're my parents.
Joe's giving him a hard slap of reality. Okay.
What do you think, though? Do you agree or no?
Okay, I think I'm definitely on the mom side here. Okay, also curious as to all the subscriptions you have. You sound like you're buried over there in subscription.
Morgan, you're not thinking about all of them. You got Amazon.
Okay, yes, I do have that one.
You've got all of a sudden I can't think of any. Netflix, Hulu. I mean, they're all television subscriptions, but subscriptions nonetheless. Like enough subscriptions. Like maybe you subscribe to a magazine or a newspaper or Spotify. Like there's so many subscriptions in my life.
Okay. Okay, I see what you're getting at. I though am on the side of okay, $80 a year
Yeah,
to
that's not
me.
bad.
Okay. $8 a month essentially is what it boils down to. I would pay that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I guess when you break it down like that, but Mark, that's $80 a year you could put towards something else, like maybe your kid's future art lessons or
Oh, future art.
taekwondo. I mean, only it would maybe pay for a month, not even. But I'm just saying, like,
Think of all the
you,
time I could spend with them at home teaching them taekwondo.
because you're an expert. I forgot.
Because I'm not going to the grocery store. I got time. I got time to dedicate to this moment.
Okay, okay, and you're right. I mean, so I guess I'd say I side with mom unless dad is willing to go to the grocery store and do it. Because I do think normally grocery shopping is a task that falls on mom. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to make a blanket statement. But in my experience, I usually see a lot of moms at the grocery store.
Okay, I agree with that. So your position is, Dad, if you don't want this to be the $8 you spend a month on another subscription, you're gonna buckle up and go to the grocery store. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. If that's all it is, you should have no issue.
Yes, that's exactly my point. Is if dad is arguing that we don't need the subscription, dad needs to go and actually experience it and do it because then maybe dad changes his mind. You know, maybe dad's like, actually, this sucks. I'd rather pay the $8 a month. Screw
I like
taekwondo.
that. Screw Taekwondo. Man, Taekwondo really got booted. Okay, I like this approach. I think my approach was just going to be to buy it, not very cost efficient, but really just more efficient in general. But I like your argument. I think it's a good one to try first. Very
Yeah,
Judge Judy of you. I like the
that's why
approach.
I'm the judge.
That's right. I'm just presenting the information here, and
Right?
uh, the to the person who submitted the question, I think Joe's giving you a valid answer. I hope that this clears up the ongoing arguments in the household,
Mm-hmm.
and now you get to approach it with new light. Send them on the shopping trips with the 2-year-old. See what happens. See how quick y'all get that subscription.
Yeah, and let us know. Let us know how quickly dad flips because I think we've already established dad's probably going to want to go for the subscription after doing
Yeah,
this a few times.
maybe he's going to hear this and try to prove us wrong, though. So, yeah, please let us know. Okay, well, that's our B baggage this week. I know that. So, as far as subscriptions go, though, just one more thing on that. I don't have any grocery store subscription. Now this is making me want to get one. I'm not really into grocery shopping, though, so that's
But it,
probably my issue.
I mean, and I agree with you, but like now I feel like you're just searching for a subscription. You're like, I have plenty of subscriptions, just not a grocery store one. Therefore, I need a grocery. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like your logic here is like, I don't have a grocery store subscription. Like, you don't need any more subscriptions.
I need to give another person my credit card to charge monthly.
Monthly, just take the money. Like, maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't.
It was never my money, anyways.
Wow. So definitely follow Morgan's money advice.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I do a lot of free trials though, and then I watch like parts of entire seasons. I'm like, oh, free Showtime for 1 week, sweet. I started The Sopranos. I'll never know the ending.
Right? I did the Apple one and it's for a year, but it's just in my mind that I'm like stressing. Like, it's one of those things I wake up in the middle of the night like, am I gonna get charged? And it's like, oh no, it's not until June or something. You know what I mean? It's like I've got quite a bit of time, but it's like, why not cancel it now? Because I'm waiting for a new season to come out of the one season shows that I binged.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you're hoping to catch them before it ends.
Yeah, but I'm also worried that I'm going to forget and not cancel the subscription, which is what I think they're banking on.
Okay, yeah, yeah, they probably are. They got your name on a list somewhere. They're gonna get your money, Joe.
Yeah, but like remember when Prime first became a thing? Oh my gosh, Mark. throwing it back. Do you remember when Amazon used to just be used books and stuff?
Oh, for sure. I was
Yeah,
like, what is going on here? Why is this
right?
bookstore so popular?
Yeah, and then they turned it into, well, I used it. I remember being like, gosh, that's way cheaper than buying it from the bookstore. And then they turned it into Prime. And I remember they were offering Prime for free for like a month or something. And I did it.
Yeah.
And I remember I was one of the few people that I knew that like read the fine print that was like, if you don't cancel it, we're going to charge you. And I remember one of my friends was like, what am I getting charged for like $80 a month? And it was like, you doofus, like you didn't cancel your Prime subscription. And now look at us. Now we all have Prime.
And now, oh, how the tables have turned.
You got us, Amazon. You got us hooked.
Yeah, and they got all these add-ons, man. Like Apple Music or Amazon Music. I just was like trying to use my Alexa for a while, and every song was like, could use it if only you had Amazon Music. And
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
annoying.
oh. So they gave me a free subscription, which I also need to cancel. So wow. I know we're rabbit holing here, but there's
Yes.
a lot. You were right. I
Thank
questioned you, and you were right.
We might have to get deeper one day on this. So I know today we didn't plan for this, but I think we could keep going on this topic.
But what we did plan for is so much more fun. Our enthusiasm was already in our voices at the beginning of this episode.
So excited.
Really, just Joe and I are recording this on MLK Day because we both already needed a vacation and have the day off. So I don't know about you, Joe, but I barely made it the last 2 weeks.
Oh, Morg, I didn't even feel like I don't even know that I worked a full week between my last holiday and this holiday, but it has been a real struggle. And like I was at the dentist before talking with you, and the secretary was asking me what I was going to do for the rest of the day, and I was like, I'm just so tired. Like I'm just gonna chill. Like I don't have time to do anything else. I'm exhausted. Like I've only been back for 2 weeks, and it's too much.
Yeah, I feel like I lived the last 2 weeks in like a haze of like fog. I was just like, yeah, I know I've done all this before, but something's different now. Something happened over the holidays, y'all.
Yeah, something did. Something's changed in me. There's a spark that's gone out.
But I feel like one of the biggest pieces of advice people always give for jobs in general, and it kind of fits here, is fake it till you make it, right? So, I'm hoping my coworkers don't think I look like I've been in a fog the whole, last 2 weeks. I've been faking it. I've been smiling on my Zooms, been, cracking my jokes like I do.
I'm sorry, real quick. What is a Morg Zoom cold joke? Like, everybody else, like, Monday vibes. Who's ready for Friday? Am I right? Like, what is a Morg joke? I just can't even.
Okay, it's not like that. It's not like a generic dad joke, okay? It's more so like I just do certain things with my team that I've been maintaining. Like sometimes we'll do like a theme for our backgrounds on all of our Zoom calls, stuff like that.
That's good.
Yeah, so just trying to keep the culture alive, okay? I'm not trying to fade on them just yet.
Good.
My cool dad joke. Hey, it's a Monday. Whoa.
Who's ready for the weekend? I need a vacation from my vacation. And we've actually said that, but that has dad joke vibes all over it. And that is like my standard back to work joke when people ask me how my holiday was, and I don't really want to tell them because let's face it, they don't really want to know. So it's like we're all just like, I need more holidays.
Oh, that's so true. There's just like things you only say at work that you're like, I would never say this outside of work, but this is just like the small talk we can handle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like work is such a weird relationship because for the most part, I mean, yes, maybe you have a few coworkers that you're actually friends with, but overall it's like people that don't know anything about you. You don't really want them to know anything about you. So it's like, let's just keep this general and we'll just keep our small talk real flat.
Oh yeah, and like the weather, like who else in your life do you talk about that as much as your coworkers with? Like it snowed like a tiny amount in Austin, and I know I posted a picture of it on our Instagram, but like literally I'm still talking about that with coworkers. They're like, that's snow. Whoa.
And they're like, and can you believe it? Yesterday was so sunshiny. And you're like, Texas, am I right?
Yeah, the whole 4 seasons in 1 hour.
I know, and it's like, this isn't out of the ordinary for us. You know what I mean? It's like pretty standard for where we live. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we just got to fill some time.
Yeah,
I'll do that. I'll be
exactly.
like, I got an hour-long meeting. I can talk for 15 minutes about the weather.
Oh, let's do this. Let's kill this, right? Yeah, like I can't even think what else. Or it's just like weird little compliments where it's like, "Ah, I like your earrings," and then dead silence. And then like the other person's like racking their brain for something else. And it's like either a reciprocal compliment or it's like a thanks, I bought them on sale. And it's like more silence. And you're just like, where do we go from here? Like, I can't really wear earrings. I think they're super cute, but they're really heavy. And it's like, what are we talking about?
Oh, that's so true. But Joe, have you ever, of course, kind of been in a situation at a job, like your current or any former job, where you faked it till you made it? Like, you had no idea what the heck this task was, but you were like, I really need this paycheck right now. I'm gonna make
Yes.
this work.
Oh my gosh, haven't we all? Like, and even bringing this up is like, I don't feel like I ever knew enough about it to even give you enough details on it. But I just remember I had to fill out this weird form almost, and it was every so often, but it was like I didn't quite get it, and I felt like nobody was really giving me like a clear explanation on what I needed to do. And I just remember like asking, and people would be like, I don't know either. And it's like, so you're kidding me? Like 4 years down the line, I'm still not going to know what this is? Like, I mean, it was just like, I don't know. Like, I just always write the same thing and copy and paste it. And it's like, was there no training on this? Like, this feels, but I mean, and nobody ever said anything. Like, so, and I'm sure I have way more moments than that where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. But for some reason, this like in particular stood out because it was like me asking people like I wanted to know, and everyone's just like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's like I feel like so often though at companies, like they'll be like, we just follow this process. And it's like almost like you're like, what, let's say it's like you're FedExing paperwork to some like address and it's probably like nobody there has received it. Like that office hasn't been opened in 20 years. Like I do feel like so sometimes it's like at work you'll be like, but why are we doing this? And everybody's like, well, we've always done it.
It's just what we do. Nobody's ever questioned the process.
It's like, well, if we didn't do it, what would we fill this void of 8 hours with?
Yes, and there is like that too, where it's like I feel like whatever we're doing, we could be more efficient here, but it's like this is tradition. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we don't call it tradition, but it feels like why are we doing this? First, you got to scan the pages in, then you got to print the pages, then you got to fax them, and it's like, why am I scanning them in to print them out to fax them?
What happens between the time I was already holding them? Yeah, it makes
They need to be
sense.
time stamped. Like,
And the only way to timestamp is with the scanner.
yeah. So, what about you? Is there anything specific where you feel like you were doing a job and you were like, I do not want to know what I'm doing, but I'm going to act like I know what I'm doing and hope everyone buys it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you said, everybody has those moments probably at any job, but one that like really made me remember when I read this like topic for our episode, that a memory that I had was in college. I worked for 3 jobs at one time at one point because they couldn't give me more hours, so it was kind of like I needed to get another job to have enough hours where I could make enough money. So I worked at 2 receptionist jobs at the same time and then as a server somewhere else, but that one was less risky. The 2 receptionist jobs, I was the person that would answer the front phone at the lobby. And so one time I remember I was like chatting with all my coworkers and then I answered the phone out of habit, but I like said the phrase I would have said at the other job. And so, and then I like hung up, like, like normal, and was like, not, and like all of my coworkers were just staring at me because I had just like, and I hadn't told them because I didn't want them to like, let go of my position. I needed hours at both. Anyways, they were all just like, that wasn't funny. Like, don't do that. And I was absent-mindedly and said like the other office as like, "Hi, this is blah blah blah." Oh no, answered whatever their question was and then hung up. But then like they thought like I was trying to be funny in front of them because we'd all just been chatting and I was like back in the conversation, and then they were like, "That wasn't funny. Like, don't do that."
How did you recover from that?
Oh, I just said something like, "Oh my God, I don't even know why I just said that," or something. I don't know. I just was like, like, it was just super awkward.
I love their response though, to be like, that really wasn't funny. Like that, I get that that was a prank, but that's not the kind of pranks we do.
It was so embarrassing. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I guess, like, looking back, I probably could have just told them I had another job, but I was too worried about it. Just because, I mean, I think it's always important in a job to know how replaceable you are. And I definitely knew I was replaceable at either one. So I kind of was worried if they thought like I wasn't focused on it or something, they would give it to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like, especially when you're younger, maybe, or depending on what your job is, there is like this weird stress of like, oh my gosh, like if I just breathe wrong, they'll go find another high school, college student to do this work, this mundane garbage that anyone could do, and I'm surprised a machine doesn't do already.
Exactly. But like you said, tradition. It's tradition.
It's tradition work.
It's tradition that we hire a younger than 21-year-old to represent our office and be the frontline phone answerer.
Exactly.
But yeah, that one still haunts me because just like getting back to the convo and all of their faces being like, why would you do
But I love it. It was like you didn't even mean to prank them, and
that?
you still
No.
did. And your lack of reaction was probably the best. Like straight face, like what? There was no prank, but it was a prank. Like
Never mind.
Morgan, the ultimate prankster over here.
Like I said, John, I still got my jokes.
Right? Also, what a weird prank. Like what a weird prank to have. Like if they like, I'm sure they're sitting over
They
there like
legit
that's
thought it was a
weird.
prank. Like I'm like, I love misrepresenting us.
Living my life on the edge.
But we got lots of fun games to play today, Joe. So I feel like we should jump into the first one, which is the worst job descriptions that you've ever found. And really, the goal here is for one another to guess what the job is. So, based on what we found, I have to warn you, some of mine are like, you're never going to be able to guess them, but I just really liked what they'd done with the place, I read I liked what they wrote.
I like this. So we've got some real creativity here. I mean, I feel like that's what we're going to see, because the ones that I found, I was like, I'm not sure if it fully fits. I did my best to find things that I thought we were looking for, but I was like, oh, people are really good at like describing what they do
Yeah.
in a way that makes it sound horrible.
Well, I guess I can just go first, and we'll start with one that actually I think you could guess maybe for this one. But like you said, I think they got some creativity here, and that makes it enjoyable, but also probably like not really sure what you're going to do for this job based on the job description. So we'll see if you can guess it.
Okay.
Are you a creative self-starter with a passion for learning and knack for social media? Are you okay with being indirectly implicated in the death of parasites? If so, please read on for this opportunity at our company.
Is this one of the ones I'm probably not going to get?
No, I think you could guess this one.
Is this like an exterminator?
Yeah, it's an assistant manager of an exterminator. But isn't that kind of creative? Are you okay with being
Yes.
indirectly implicated in the death of parasites?
Yes, I think that's kind of what threw me, where I was like, okay. Okay, wow, I love it.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of creative. And honestly, the job role goes on to say like they would own some of the marketing functions. So I thought it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
But overall, not a job I'd want.
No, I can't say exterminators one I'm interested in. I feel like if it was like, especially if it was like rodents, like maybe bugs I could do, but like I don't think I could do little rodents.
They're just too much, too furry.
As I was looking this up, this isn't exactly a job description, it's a title description, and I had to include it because I was like,
Okay.
this is weird. It's the job position is a digital overlord.
And I'm supposed to guess what they do?
Can you guess what the actual job is? Yeah, just
Oh, that's the
digital
description.
overlord. That's the job title. Like that's
Social
what
media?
good guess. It's a website manager.
Oh, okay.
But doesn't that sound weird? It's got some like Lord of the Rings vibes. I am the digital overlord.
You shall not pass through my website without buying something.
It is encrypted.
Oh yeah, I think I'd like that title actually, but try to get a job after that, like, oh, I'm just changing jobs and it says here you were a digital overlord.
Do tell. Also, what if you're just like casually going out for drinks and you're hoping to meet someone? And they're like, and what are you doing? You're like, I'm a digital overlord.
Yeah, you like gotta like tone it down for different places. I don't know. That makes it
Right?
hard.
Like, I'm a nurse. What do you do? I tend to the online realm.
This date is over.
Exactly. I'd be like, that guy's a weirdo.
Okay, my next one. This one I just really loved, but this is the one I don't think you'll be able to get. Sometimes selfish bastards named Harry end up retiring. Harry was the best in this department. He handled all the problems, fought like a gladiator, and created most of the automations. He never smelled bad and always had a funny story. We will miss Harry very much. So because Harry selfishly left and is retiring, we're hiring people, and it's boring. I've managed to build up quite a pile of work for new Harry. Will you be my new Harry?
Honestly, I think I would apply for that job just purely out of like, I don't know what this is, but like this guy's honesty, I'm here for.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It pays good, $40 an hour, Joe.
Hey, that's really good. I feel like that's probably why he's like, who cares what I write in the description? $40 an hour, like, I'm gonna get me a new Harry.
Yeah, never smelled bad. I can do all of these things.
I know, like that doesn't sound hard. Just do all the work and smell fine.
But unfortunately, the title is a manufacturing engineer, which
Oh,
makes
yeah.
me really question if I could do it.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't have guessed that. You think the job description would have included more technical skills you need, but I like the route they took.
They're like, you know what, Harry, this is a monument to Harry. We're gonna give it to him at his retirement party.
Okay, Morg, so I've got one for you, and this one is like a person who has this job described it, and I thought this was kind of accurate because I mean, I don't know a lot about this job, but I think we've talked about like this. Everyone hates this person. So show up even though nobody called me, get paid for an answer they knew already, and to a question they never asked.
Is it a lawyer or a cop?
No, but I like that. It's a consultant.
Oh yeah, I heard a really good tweet the other day that was like consultants will put an arrow in and draw a target around it with it through the bullseye. Because I'm like, that's exactly what they'll do. They'll just do like, and here's your problem, and I already have everything I needed to solve it for you. And you're like, wait, was that my problem? Because I thought you came in here to fix something else.
Yeah. So that seems like a very strange job that people do. Like, I mean, it's one of those ones where I'm like, I don't really get what you do. When people are like, oh, yes, I'm a consultant, I consult. And you're like, yeah, which means, like, I mean, that sounds like the biggest BS I've ever heard.
Oh, yes. Like, I mean, I feel like there's so many jobs that seem like that though too. Like, but I feel like consultants are definitely so vague that you're just like, I don't think I understand what you actually do.
Do you actually do anything? Or, like, how do you fill your day?
I feel like the term consultant also they get to like throw their weight around a lot. Like sometimes people will say they're a consultant, that's like it, and I'm like, in what? Like wait, like tell me more. Like I think I need a little more information than that.
Can I just like adopt that, and be like, I'm a consultant, and people ask me what, and I can just throw out like anything I want, like a consultant of cookie dough.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, can I just be like a consultant on anything? Like, I don't know.
Well, lots of people have made a lot of money that way because
Why?
you just get well, you get like really, niche in a certain area, and then people will be like, well, help me get to the level you got at. Like a lot of times, really great business people will become consultants because people will be like, I need you to come into my company and tell me how you did what you did with yours, which is kind of weird to me because it's like it's not transferable always, you know? It's like, what if me and you just started being like, well, we're consultants on podcasting now. And then some podcasters like, I do a podcast on insects. I'd be like, okay, I'm here and I will consult.
Let me tell you what I know about insects.
And no, but I'll say things like, no, no, no. I'm not here to be the expert in your industry. I am here to guide you along the way. You know, you just gotta throw like curveballs.
Yeah. So you're kind of like a consultant feels like almost like a weird spiritual business guide, is it?
Yes, and it really is that, Joe. You're just like
Hold my
confirming
hand.
what they already knew. Like you read, answering a question you already had, or like already had the answers to.
Yeah. Okay, so really they're just there to kind of coddle you and make you feel good about your choices. I want that job. That sounds like the dream job to be like, yes, so you did all the hard work. I'm just going to come in here and say, it looks great. Podcast is going to rock. Go insects.
I think too that like one of the levels of consideration though that might turn you away from this, Joe, is that consultants also get blamed, you know, like that, which is the scary part, right? Like,
Oh.
you know, they want you to come in and tell them yes so that they can blame you when it doesn't work.
Oh, so I see. I see now why not everyone is after this job position.
Yeah. So I guess on some level, like, you got to be pretty sure about, I guess, whatever you're suggesting.
Yes. Okay, well, good to know. I'm going to rethink that job.
Okay, the last one I have here is really just because I feel like it sounded the most like every job description and just represented so well that there are just like so many buzzwords in any business write up that I just was like, you would have no idea what this job is, but the ideal candidate will engage in a customer focused, innovative, and collaborative ethos, Joe.
Ethos, yeah. Pathos.
Stimulates that stimulates and enables the provision of fit for purpose solutions that are reliable, high performing, and delivered business benefits.
These people are experts at saying nothing. What is, I don't know. What is this? It sounds like it could be anything. Sounds like fancy words.
It's a service desk analyst.
Never would have guessed that in a million years, Mark. I really feel like you could apply that to anything.
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna copy that and put it on my resume.
Yeah, you might as well. Business ethos, Joe. Business ethos.
Business ethos. Talk about a buzzword. I think people ears will perk up when they hear me say business ethos.
And then as soon as they go, and what is an ethos? I'll go, see you later.
I'll be like, oh, you know, logos, pathos, Beowulf, you know, all that stuff. You know, we learned about it in high school, I think. Bye-bye. I'm just a consultant.
I tip you my hat, adieu.
So same type deal, Morg, where the ones that I found, they were people describing their own jobs. And this one kind of made me laugh too, where it was run away and call the police.
Run away and call the police? That's what they describe their own job as?
I know, right? Like this person does not think very highly of their job.
Are they a bank robber?
What? Why would you call the police?
to get them off your tail.
Oh, hi, I'm not at the bank.
Listen, wherever you look, not by the dock on 29.
That sounds like not a very good bank robber. It's a security guard.
Oh, because they don't do anything. Like, for real.
Do they not? Like, I guess it's another job I don't know that much about.
Well, I always feel like they get, like, kind of crapped on because they just, you know, they're called, like, plastic badges. And, you know, they're just kind of, like, really there to keep the honest people honest, you know? The people who already weren't going to steal are just more likely, or you're going to keep them not stealing. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're going to actually come in and rob the place, I too would be like, I'm not paid enough for this crap.
Bye-bye. Calling the police.
I'm going to go rob a bank too. I don't know. That was a good description though. I feel like they're kind of making fun of themselves.
I know, right? You know, like, poke fun at yourself. I like that.
I do appreciate it. I feel like though, with the last one I shared with you, it kind of fits into our next topic where it's like these work buzzwords, right, Joe? Like these major work that you only use these words at work. And like if you don't use these words only at work, then like you might really hate yourself, because I feel like there's a lot of these that I just really need out of my vocabulary, and yet like sometimes I'll use them in a meeting and then look in the mirror and be like, "Who are you? What are you doing in there?"
Never in my life did I think I would say synergy.
Exactly. Synergy is the perfect one. You know, also like the word cross functional, the number of times I throw that one around, like so many times.
And can I ask you, does cross-functional mean that it's like has multiple purposes? Like, I mean, what do these words mean? What is synergy?
Okay, honestly, synergy, I mean, the way I would use it if I was trying to sound professional would be like, you know, causing synergy to take place across teams. Like we're all on
That's
the same page or
okay.
whatever.
I was going to say you can't use the word synergy and the definition of synergy. That doesn't help. But okay,
Oh,
now I
I
get
was
it. You
using it.
clarified it.
Yeah, I can't give you a Webster dictionary.
Well, I
Right.
kind of like that though, because that sounds very almost like consultant words, right? To be like, synergy is having synergy and everyone on your team.
Yeah,
Moving on, next topic.
consultants definitely like use like a little bit of a power play to make you feel stupid. Like, did he just use that word to describe the word? And he's like, next!
No questions.
We have to figure out why your margins are so low. And you're like, okay. But yeah, cross functional is kind of similar. It's just like a word I use when I'm describing multiple teams working together. We're a cross functional team. We're going cross functions. But it's like thrown out all the time.
I mean, it's like we already have a word that exists for that, right?
I don't know. My word I use for it.
Multi-use, multi-purpose. Like, I mean, do we not already have words? Like, why are businesses so into inventing words for words?
Okay, this brings up such a good point, and really a story I can't go on without telling you because
Then I know it's going to be good. Morgs can't move on without talking about this.
okay, my first job out of college, it was a pretty large company, and they had made up a word, and this word was SLQ to CQ.
That's a
And
word?
well, I guess it was an acronym, but it was like said like that. Like everybody used it as a word, and it was like can't even tell you right now what each of those things stood for, but the whole concept was like reducing waste and like making sure our efficiency, which is all basically just buzzwords to describe the made up buzzword that we created. But the reason I have to tell you about this is because my CEO there really wanted to make, or the president of this department really wanted to make this word like well known so that it was like adopted at other companies. And he was writing it into his book. So he was like pounding this like into us as employees. And every time we had like a company wide meeting, which would happen monthly, he would have a man dress up like a trash can, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm waste at this company. What are you gonna do with me?" And he would have like a fight scene that he would act out
What?
to like get rid of waste at this company. And he'd be like sneaking into the room while like the president of the company was talking, and everybody would be like, and he'd be like, "What is something behind me?" And then
Oh
it'd
my
be like
gosh.
a duel of him and the trash can man, the waste.
Why does this give me like flashes of like medieval times or something? Like it's like an interactive show.
It was, and like people like he had like hired this man to act as garbage, and
Act as garbage. I love that.
and and represent like this like thing he was trying to brand. Like to this day, I can't get over that I was in like hours long meetings where this man would have a couple duels with another man dressed as garbage.
All just to promote this word SQTVRSHIJKLMNOP.
SLQ to CQ, yes, and I mean, listen to me now. I remember it still.
Yeah, it's but my only worry is it's like a mouthful. Like you gotta do words that are catchy, and that's not catchy, you know? It'd be like maybe you called it Gurg or something. Everyone would be like, oh yeah, Gurg. Like, yeah, we gotta clear up the Gurg.
I'll be gurging till 10 p.m. tonight.
Exactly, but Gurg is catchy. You don't have to like practice saying it.
I like
I like Gurg. I'm gonna write that into my book. I need a company so I can pound it into my employees.
like sometimes I'll still go look to see if like SLQ to CQ took off. I don't think anybody adopted it outside of our organization.
I've never heard of it.
But Gurg can get big right now.
We're gonna spread the Gurg.
Am I using it right? Would Gurg represent like a positive connotation or a negative connotation?
It just depends on how you're using it, you know?
Oh,
it's just the Gurg.
So like I filed a bunch of paperwork, but the Gurg got me. So it could be
Gurg.
negative.
Yeah, it could be. It could be negative, but it could be positive. You know, it could be like, did you see the Gurg over there? It is amazing. Look at that hard Gurg.
So is it like a framework we're using? I like it.
Morg, stop asking so many questions. So many Gurgan questions over here.
You're gonna be such a good consultant. You're like, are you dumb? Do you not get Gurg yet?
Like, I don't know how I can make this any clearer to you. Shut the Gurg up.
Well, there you have it, folks. Start incorporating that into your vocabulary and really, ultimately, put people down when they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's the only way we're going to get it adopted, okay?
I mean, that's the Gurg right there. That is the Gurg.
That's the Gurg at work.
So, Morg, just now I've got this trash man in my mind.
Oh, yeah. Forever in mind.
Yes, like burned in my mind. I picture almost like an Oscar the Grouch type. And since we're talking about work and stuff, and we've been talking about job descriptions, how do you think this man could put this on his resume? Like, what do you think is on his resume to get this job or to get more jobs like this in the future?
That is such a good question because that just is like the epitome of when you write a resume and you like make up like crap that you did, you're like, listen. But yeah, this man who dressed up like trash, like how could he promote that? You know, executed against company-wide initiative to drive a framework for better process adoption.
Holy cow, I think Morg used like 12 buzzwords in that. Not Gurg, but we'll let it slide.
Ding, 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 ding. Alarm bells going off. Hired.
Okay, wow. I mean, that guy, as far as I'm concerned, can be trash at every meeting for me.
But seriously, I feel like when you put stuff on a resume, it just really does turn into that. I remember one of my first resumes, I, at a company, had bundled pens together for a conference that they were putting on. And my bullet was like, executed inventory management and delivered excellent, or like, you know, designed marketing materials, because I picked out the pens, for a conference of 18,000 people. But it was picking out pens.
Hey, yes, I think you really sold that. They don't need to know, but maybe in an interview they're like, then what exactly were you?
And I'm like, well, I went to this staples.com and they had 4 colors to choose from.
Next question.
But I did this all on my own, I'll have you know.
I didn't need anyone to hold my hand.
So I don't know, this probably says a lot about me, but at every job I've ever had, I kind of pick out, you know, people that kind of frustrate me or are harder to work with. And in my head, I kind of make up this scenario of them being my work nemesis. And I kind of like, you know, the analogy of like a comic book, like they're not horrible. We get work done together. They're not making my life miserable, but I don't love my everyday interactions with them. And so I'm curious what you would title these people if it were based on your actual experience with them, not their titles they've had with you. Because I feel like I always kind of am like, oh man, there's Bob. He's going to talk my ear off or whatever. And those are the people I'm kind of thinking like, no harm done by them. Really, it's just an annoyance.
Yes. No, and okay, so then giving them titles, is this like a superhero title since you said like comic book, or is this a title like a working title but like based on their actual actions versus their actual job title?
I kept mine work titles, but I guess in my mind I was just kind of describing the scenario
Okay.
I kind of see it as.
Because honestly, Morg, I feel like, what was it? Digital Overlord to me sounds like it could go either way. You know, like that to me sounds like a comic book.
Oh, that's a really good dual purpose.
Yeah, it sounds like a comic book character. Okay, so I'm thinking specifically of a lady that I worked with who talked like, but she didn't listen when you talked, and she would almost like cut you off and then keep talking. And I remember thinking, like, I don't understand if this woman is actually not hearing me or if she's just not actually listening. So, you know, I would say that was one of her something that I found it challenging to work with her, because I felt like I was talking to a wall. So, and I don't have the business jargon you do, but I feel like I want to call her something like things that I don't care about, like VP of like, I don't care.
VP of run-on sentences.
Yeah, like pauses that were never meant to be. VP of this isn't a two-way conversation, it's a monologue.
VP of monologues.
She is our expert monologuist.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, specialist. Monologuist specialist.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's like exactly what I was looking for, because these are the people, like, the idea of it being everybody has this nemesis at their job. Like, I could pick out in my head the VP of monologuing that works with me right now. Right.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, Mark, what would your nemesis, previous nemesis or current nemesis be?
Okay, I have a current one who never shows up to the meetings that they accept, but they're like critical to making a decision, or like everybody who's coming to this meeting is there to present something to them so that they like then can, you know, like they're kind of like a stakeholder. But so I called them the executive of the Invisible Man, because I was kind of going on that dual, like, comic book esque, but also like this person will just like accept meetings and then claim that they never were on their calendar or they missed them somehow, and it is like, is there something wrong? Like, I don't know, but it's just comical to me because they are also like, they're like very nice, but I feel like they're just like a person who wants like a random call as opposed to like a set meeting. Like, structured time is not on their side.
Yeah.
And so to like have a meeting on their calendar that they're actually needed at, like, you're never gonna win. They're the Invisible Man.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds like it would be really frustrating.
And the best part though is that we'll still have the meeting, and it'll almost be like this weird thing where we're all talking not like bad about this person that's not there, but we're just like, what would this person say so we can move forward? Like, we're almost like making up this person's personality. So
oh my god! But and do they need like to approve anything? Like, you guys can't move on without their approval or something? Like, I mean, I guess that's like, yeah. Or is it like, I just picture a bunch of people in a meeting being like, well, we can't really have this meeting without Todd. Like, Todd has to approve it. So what's new with you guys? Like, let's talk about the weather.
Back to the weather, the earrings. A lot of times I just send a summary and say, we made this decision, like, you know, kind of speak now, blah, 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 on your behalf, Todd. We've come to said decision.
Invisible Man.
Yeah. But it gets to the point sometimes we're like, does Todd still work here?
Like, anyone heard from Todd?
Like, we're like, are we like waiting for decisions to be made by someone who's exited the company?
Just waiting on you, Todd. And it's like, Todd hasn't worked here for a year. Then that sounds like a real good skill to have on Todd's part.
Yeah. Make him bank.
Well, Mark, I feel like I've learned a lot. Like, I feel like, I know we were worried about this getting a little too worky oriented, and it did, but I feel like we kept it light. You know, we kept it, we didn't go there.
We didn't go there.
But I feel like we're going to have to wrap it more, because unfortunately we got to go so we can get mentally prepared for going back to work, which is going to kill me. But here it is, the time. So
we will survive.
We will survive, as will everyone else. Again, please shoot us. If there was anything in here that you want to share with us, please share with us your fake it till you make it moment or whatever. And we will be here.
Or if your job had a man dressed as garbage perform plays with your CEO.
Yes, and I like that. Or if you can come up with a job description for that man as well, I think Morg knocked it out of the park, but I would love to read some more of those. So make sure to join us again next week. We'll see you guys here on Friday, and have an awesome week. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at 2Bs from Lil D.